Today we're going to make caramel cream pie. Hi, Gloria Donahue with Nana's Cookery, and welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make a caramel cream pie, which is another way of using that dulce de leche. So let me tell you the ingredients you'll need for the pie. First of all, you will need a baked pie shell. That's a 9-inch. I am not using the one that was in the original recipe. You know I'm using my own. Use your own favorite, but if you don't have a favorite, please try mine. It's the very first video I ever did, and it's a flaky pie shell, and it just makes a wonderful pie shell, and everybody can make it. Trust me on that. So you need to have a baked pie shell. You need to have cream cheese, and that normally comes at Philadelphia is the common brand, although there are other ones, but you need cream cheese. You need heavy cream, and this recipe has a lot of heavy cream, so I bought a quart. Just a little bit of 10x sugar, and that is the confectioner's sugar, frosting sugar we call it too. Some regular sugar. And some dulce de leche. The label is not here because the label came off when it was being cooked. If you want to see something funny, go to my second video, which is banoffee pie, and that is dulce de leche. This is cooked in water for 3 hours, the can. And when it comes out caramelized. It becomes a caramel. The first mixture that we make for this pie is to cream 8 ounces of cream cheese, and this has been out at room temperature because it needs to be at room temperature to really mix well, and a 1/4 cup of 10x or icing sugar, and a 1/2 cup of the dulce de leche that we had in the can. If you watch the recipe for banoffee pie, it's hysterical because it takes me about 6 minutes to open a can because I'm trying to open it upside down and talking the whole while. So you will never ever see me open a can again on camera. I learned my lesson. So this is the thick caramel dulce de leche. Now, if you live near a Hispanic market, you may be able to buy it in the can dulce de leche, because it is caramelized condensed milk. So I have the cream cheese, I have the dulce de leche, and I have the 10x sugar, and now I'm going to beat it. This is nicely combined. You can see that's just a nice mixture. Now I'm going to whip heavy cream. But I'm going to use a different beater. This is the regular flat beater, and I'm going to use the beater that is better for whipping. Now, I put the mixing bowl and the whip in the refrigerator as well as the heavy cream because you want it to be really ice cold. The cream just whips better. I have to say, I have never made a pie before that had 2.5 cups of heavy cream. This is going to be the richest pie ever known to man, probably. So I'm going to put 2.5 cups of really cold heavy cream into a cold bowl with a cold whip. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of regular sugar. That's just regular granulated sugar. And we're going to whip it. Now that's the other advantage of having a stand mixer. Start it low for one thing. You'll start to see little beads of cream come up along the side. And that's all right as long as it's still staying within that bowl. But if you go too high too fast, you're going to be wearing that cream. So you just gradually raise it, but then you raise it to the highest level. But I'm going to keep an eye on any migration up the wall, and I'm not going to raise the speed until I see that that's all staying within the bowl. Now our cream is nice and stiffly whipped. Another thing I should have realized, with that much cream, I probably should have used a larger bowl for it, because it's definitely going to move while you're whipping it, come up, and that's a lot of cream to whip. And it will double. If you start off with 2.5 cups of heavy cream, you're going to end up with 5, because that's what happens when you whip cream. So we'll just get this out. Now it tells me to save a 1/2 cup of this. You have to remember, this is new for me too. So I'm trying to follow my directions. And now fold the two mixtures together. This is a very nice spatula because it's very sturdy. And of course, with that curved edge, that's what goes around the bowl and allows you to get everything. When you buy one of these, make sure it's sturdy and that the top doesn't come off with something heavy. Because cheap ones, don't buy cheap tools. Don't buy them just because they're expensive, but buy good things, because if you do, they'll last for years. Folding. Folding is simply combining two mixtures while trying to keep the air in that you've created. It almost always involves either heavy cream or egg whites. My theory of folding is I just go down the middle, come up the side and turn. Down the middle, up the side and turn. And I'm going to keep doing this until the mixture all looks the same. You know, it's not too late to give your name to me for my towel. I have a towel that a neighbor gave me. It was plain and now it has names on it. So if you send me your name and your continent, you will definitely be added to my towel. I have a story about the woman who gave me the towel. She's a wonderful woman and had a lot of things go wrong. She was driving in the neighborhood the other day and someone ran a light broadsided her. They said if she hadn't had side airbags, she would have died. As it was, she had no bones broken. They're keeping an eye on her for head injury, etc. But, you know, folks, we just never know. We're not promised any more than this hour. So be good to one another. You never know what's going to happen in the next hour. Okay. So as you can see, this wasn't too hard to fold either because the mixtures were pretty similar. If they're too dissimilar, if the one mixture is much thicker, I always put some of the whipped cream or the egg white, whatever it is, into that mixture to lighten it because that will be easier to fold. But actually, these two mixtures were pretty compatible. Oh my gosh, is this really going to fill this pie shell? Now, I'm supposed to save a tablespoon and a half of the DULCE. So, of course, I've been so tidy that I've been putting all my things in the sink and I don't have measuring spoons. So I am just going to make sort of a guess and take that out. Well, I think I'm going to say that that's enough, and we're going to save that for the top. And the rest we're going to put in the bottom of this baked pie shell. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to put the dulce de leche, what's left in the can, in the bottom of the pie. We're then going to put the mixture. Then we're then going to put the cream, and then we're going to dribble the rest of the caramel. And I hope it works out. Okay, we're just going to, and this is very much like the banoffee pie. You put dulce de leche on the bottom, and then you put bananas, and then you put heavy cream, whipped cream. So actually, this is quite a bit that goes in the bottom of this pie. Okay, we're done there. Boy, folks, this is a lot. That's an awful lot to put in one 9-inch pie. I have a half a cup of whipped cream that is said to save to put over the top. So it's not going to be swirls to do the whole thing. So let's just see here. Let's just see how we can work this. We'll just make some pretty little things around. Now this pie has to be chilled. because you can't eat it now. That cream cheese has to firm up. That cheese the whipped cream needs to get colder. Okay, well, looks like I might be able to just sort of bring it in a little. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Just enough. Just enough. Gosh, folks, that's a rich pie. And now we're just going to dribble. We're just going to dribble some dulce de leche over it. I don't know whether I want to, no, I think I like that. It sort of catches in the whipped cream. I'm not going to melt it. I thought, well, because I don't want to really melt it and put that on cream. If I drag that, that is our caramel cream pie. I hope you've enjoyed visiting the kitchen because I love to have you come.